We have a dessert sure to please the crowd this morning.
Catherine, what have you got on the menu first?
Banoffee pie, and we've lots of it here.
We do.
Have you got ripe bananas?
Well, they're ripe enough. They're as ripe as I could get them.
What do you call banoffee with mouldy bananas?
What?
Ganoffee pie.
Where do we get him from? Oh, I love it, Tommy.
Well, after you tell me off last week, I thought I'd try and warm you up a little bit here. Like, I'm not that bad.
Now, you
Bad
can, Tommy,
jokes.
use a biscuit base for this, but I
Biscuit
prefer,
base.
like you mentioned last week for the
We're in.
cheesecake.
Happy.
I'm using shortbread base, and to make the shortbread, we just put 225 grams, that's 8 ounces of our cream plain flour in. We add 50 grams, 2 ounces of icing sugar, and we add a heaped teaspoonful of corn flour, just a basic shortbread. Now, you'll be fairly familiar with the shortbread in the north, Tommy. It's very popular, isn't it?
Oh, delicious.
Love it, love it. Now, it does help if you sieve that into the mixing bowl. And all we do now is sieve or rub in 200 grams, that's 7 ounces, of our butter or margarine. And I have to say, I prefer to use
Butter.
butter.
Oh,
Butter.
yeah.
Can't have shortbread unless it's made with butter.
Oh, no, proper
Now-
butter ones.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah,
You can't.
it's delicious.
Now, you just rub that through, and you keep rubbing until the mixture comes together. Now, breadcrumbs would do, as I've mentioned in the recipe, bring it to resemble breadcrumbs. But if it's a little on the soft side, as this is here, you can keep going and you end up with a dough, like the dough I have there. We'll come on to that in a moment. Now, while I'm doing this, just to mention to you, to make the toffee, you can actually buy the caramel now.
Okay.
In a tin.
In a tin, or you put sweetened condensed milk into a saucepan, and I generally cook or convert 3 of them at a time, so I always have a toffee in the press if I want to make banoffee.
Why? How long does it take?
You put it into a saucepan of water, make sure the tins are completely covered with the water, and then bring it together. Then turn it. I'm bringing this together here to make a dough, but into the saucepan, bring it to the boil, and then turn it down to a very, very slow simmer. Okay. Never let the water boil off. Well, it won't boil off if you have it at a very slow simmer. And then simmer it for 3 hours, take it out, let it go cold, and there you have your toffee.
So that's
ready.
why you always have one pre-made, because you
Always have
can't
one
really
ready.
make it on a whim.
It takes 3 hours.
yeah.
How long would it take? How long could you keep it in the cupboard,
Oh,
though?
6 months.
Oh, could you?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So bring the dough together, as you see there. Then transfer it to your tin.
Hold on, sorry, Catherine. I have to go back to that quickly. So what are you putting into the boiling water? Condensed
The tin
milk?
of condensed milk, yeah.
And that turns into...
Yeah,
Turns
over
into
3
caramel.
hours boiling.
How does that turn into toffee?
Because there's lots of sugar in it.
Right. Oh, there
Sugar
you go.
and-
I didn't know that.
Cream in it and all sorts of things. Oh, yeah, it's great.
Magic.
Ah.
So then with the tips of your fingers, just press the dough evenly into the tin. And you see how quickly it does come together.
Yeah.
It does help if you've got the butter at the room temperature like mine was there from the heat today.
Now, is that shortbread? If you put that in a
That's just basic
rectangle one
shortbread.
and cut it into biscuits,
Cut into biscuits,
you're
that's
there.
that, yeah.
Okay.
That's your recipe. Now, it does help if you just prick it lightly with a fork, just so you don't want it to rise during baking. Now, that goes in at 180, 350, gas mark 4, for about 20 minutes, until it's just... I'm going to dirty the oven out of my
And
hands.
can you use digestive biscuits?
You could use digestive biscuits. Butter, Tommy. Now, here we have... Now, what you can do with that quantity will make a large 8-inch tin like you saw there, or 2 small tins. And I've used the small tins today. Now, when you take the shortbread out, you allow it to go cold, which we've done there. And we're now just going to move it onto the plate and assemble it. It helps if you allow the toffee to go cold. That's why I have this toffee put on that already before we tip on our bananas. So here we have our bananas.
So I thought a banoffee would be a really quick dessert to make, but
Oh, no, it
if
takes
you're...
a bit-
Yeah, it
Takes
takes
a bit of time, I have
effort,
to
doesn't
say,
it?
yeah. Now,
Well worth it, though.
oh, I think so, yeah. Something you either love or you hate, isn't it?
And the condensed kind of caramel that you can buy,
Yeah.
like that's pretty tasty. I presume like it's easy and it tastes just as good, does it?
It does. It's actually the same thing. The manufacturers just
Yeah.
put the tins into boiling water
Boiled it all up.
and then simmer them for about 3 hours. Same thing happens. So now about 2 or 3 bananas, depending on the size of your flan tin or your base. And then you just top with cream. We'll just put a little bit on that. You see, if you just heat that, spread it, it spreads a bit easier.
Okay.
You don't have to heat it, but it does spread a bit easier. Now, if you do that, you have to leave it for a few minutes to go cold before putting on the bananas.
And if you were making it the other way, it'd be like butter and it can burn, and it's just a whole load of hassle.
Nightmare.
Yeah. To get the right consistency, because you want it like that, don't you, to keep the dessert?
The other way, you'd put the sweetened condensed milk into a saucepan, you'd add extra sugar, vanilla essence, and then you stir over the heat for about a half an hour to thicken.
Oh, we're too busy for that, Catherine.
Don't talk to me. And invariably it burns. So, much quicker this way.
Oh, I love the caramel on it.
Now we just flip out our cream on top. Now you can pipe it if you're being very fussy, but it tastes lovely just as it is.
Yeah.
Just spread the top with cream, and then you finish off with, and this couldn't be easier, it's a wonderful dessert. Now, and you finish off then with some flake.
A bit of tacky on the top.
And there's your banoffee pie.
Lovely.
Couldn't be easier.
Have you any left down there? No, hardly.
So there we have our
delicious.
banoffee pie. So we've some for everyone in the audience nearly today.
Perfect for the bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
Perfect.
Bit of time, Sunday, have a few people over and cook up a banoffee.
Yeah, hopefully the weather will be fine. Have an old barbecue.
Yeah, I think it's all rained out anyway.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Catherine. Great to see you back doing what you do.
I'm delighted to be back, yeah.
Catherine, that was delicious. Loved it. Thank you very much.